Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be solving problem 392 is subsequence. The problem statement is given two strings s and t, return true if s is a subsequence of t or else return false. The gist of the problem is that we need to make sure that the characters in string s should appear in string t in the same order. There could be some random characters in between which can be ignored, but at least the characters that are in s should appear in the same sequence. So if we look at example number 1, if we look at each character in string S and find its corresponding position in string T, the sequence is the same. We have A at index 0, then B at index 2, and then C at the last position. As the sequence of the characters appearing in string T does not change, the output is true. In example number 2, S has AXC as the input, but in string T, X is not there, so the output will be false. I hope you are able to understand the problem statement. Let's switch to whiteboard and discuss how it can be solved. One way to solve this problem is using two pointers, where the first pointer will be pointing at the characters in string S, while the other will be pointing at the characters in string T. The idea is to compare each character between string S and string T, and depending on the comparison, we'll increment the corresponding pointers. If the two values are not equal, we'll only increment the t pointer, and if they are equal, we'll increment both s and t pointer. The idea is that after the iteration is done, the s pointer should be at the end of the string s, which means that we have identified all of the characters in string s and it appears in the right sequence in string t. Hence, we can return true. If s pointer is not at the end, which means that we have not found all of the characters in the right sequence in string t, in which case we'll return false. Let's do a couple of simulation runs to understand how will this work using the given input. The I will be pointing at s, j will be pointing at t. Starting with I and j is equal to 0, corresponding characters are a and a. As they are equal, we'll continue the iteration and increment both of these pointers. So for the next run, I will be 1, j will be 1. Corresponding characters are b and h. They are not equal, we'll only increment the j pointer. For the next run, my I will be 1, j will be 2. The character at si will be the same, tj will be n. They are again not equal, so we'll only increment the second pointer, in which case I will be 1, j will be 3. The corresponding characters will be b and b. As they are equal, we'll increment both of the pointers. So the next run it will be 2 and 4. Corresponding characters are c and x. As they are not equal, we'll only increment the j pointer, which will give us 2 and 5. Corresponding characters are c and e. Again, they are not equal, so we'll just increment the j pointer, which will give us 2 and 6. The characters are equal now, so we'll increment both of the pointers, so we'll have 3 and 7. As we are at the end of string s, we'll stop the iteration here and return true. In case we reach the end of string t before we reach the end of string s, which implies that the subsequence was not found, so we'll stop the iteration there and return false. With this solution, our time complexity is O of n, where n is the number of characters in string t, and the space complexity is O of 1, as we are only using two pointers to compare characters in s and t. I hope you were able to understand this explanation. Let me show you how we can implement this using C#. Here is the C# solution. I start by initializing my I and j pointer, setting it to 0. I then start the while loop with conditions being I is less than equal to s dot length and j should be less than t dot length. If the characters that both of the pointers are pointing at are equal, then I'm incrementing the I pointer. After this check is done, I'm incrementing my j pointer and continuing the checks. Once either of the conditions are not fulfilled, the code will jump out of the while loop, and at the end we'll check if I is equal to s dot length. If the condition matches, we'll return true or return false. This code, when submitted on LeetCode, beats 100% of the submissions in terms of runtime and 95% in terms of memory. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you were able to understand this explanation and the code. The link to the source code is available in the description below. Feel free to check that out, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.